Greetings, I'm Ms. Reese and I'm here with our principal, Mr. Hummert, to present information to you through this video about this year's NJHS California trip so you can make an informed decision about your student joining us on this wonderful adventure.
I'm Derek Hummert. I'm the school principal here. I'm fortunate to have attended the NJHS field trip in past years, and it is really awesome. And you know, our students are wonderful, and our NJHS students have worked so hard to earn this distinction. In their 7th grade year, they earned it with their grades and their good conduct. On into their 8th grade year, many of these NJHS students have done a lot of really wonderful volunteer work. They've attended their meetings, they've served as ambassadors for Desert Shadows Middle School as we welcome our new students. So this trip that we've taken to California is a real nice capstone for hardworking students, deserving students, your students, our students. So here we are. We're going to talk about this. It's been 3 years since we've taken this trip, and we're working with a known agent that's worked with our schools on other excursions to California, but it's taken us some time to put this one together. We're going to Dana Point. We're going to have some real special meals and experiences, and then we're going to go to a major theme park. In just a moment, Mrs. Reese is going to share some details about that itinerary. It's also attached to the email that you got where you're now watching this video. We ride on a charter bus. We stay at nicer hotels, safe hotels. Safety is our #1 priority at DSMS, and that's our bottom line before we can even start. And that's our first priority. I want to apologize for it being late. We're into February here, and our trip is announced going to begin April 20th. There are several reasons for that, but it's primarily about safety, to make sure that we have all of our ducks in a row and we're doing the right things in the right way. Long story as to why we're late, but we'll save that for another day. Here we are. So you're going to learn more about this trip, and after that, you're going to hear about an informational meeting in which you can learn more about this before you make a big decision about April. So I'll turn it over to you, Mrs. Reese.
This is what we are going to be doing on this fabulous trip. On Thursday, April 20th, we'll be boarding our deluxe motor coach and departing DSMS at 7 a.m. in the morning. When we arrive in Anaheim, we head first for the Griffith Observatory, which has just undergone a $95 million renovation, and I can't wait to see it because it's going to be spectacular. Then we have dinner at the Hollywood Hard Rock Cafe. We check into our hotel, which is the Holiday Inn La Mirada, and then Friday, April 21st, after breakfast at our hotel, we head to some Hollywood sightseeing excursions, and we land at the Ocean Institute at Dana Point, which is incredible, where we spend our time taking boat excursion to learn about our ocean ecosystems, and we spend time in their extensive labs to conduct experiments while learning even more about the health of our Earth's beautiful oceans. We wrap up that day with dinner at a pirate adventure show. Then Saturday, after breakfast, we head to Universal Studios Hollywood, where we spend the entire day just enjoying all they have to offer. At closing, we will be boarding our bus again and heading back to DSMS, arriving early Sunday morning, April 23rd.
So just to be clear, that last day at the park, it's exhausting, and it's a lot of fun because we'll stay there until later into the evening, and it might be 9 p.m. where we board the bus, and we'll take that bus from California into Arizona, arriving very early on Sunday. Doing so allows us to have some cost savings there with the cost of the trip. Years past, 4 years ago, this trip was around $550 or so. It's up from there. Just about everything in this world is more expensive than it was 4 years ago. So the cost for this trip for families is going to be $630. That's a lot of money. And the good news is that investment of $630 really covers everything. The only cash that you'd need to send with your student would be for souvenirs. The other good news is that this is a trip that's eligible for tax credit. So if you have not used your tax credit for the year 2022 or 2023, you can apply that, and that way you get refunded that money on the end. So the email in which you opened up this video also contains the itinerary for this and a Google form that you're going to be filling out to let us know about your interest. It's important you have that conversation about a family if this is for you. Might want to have some talk with some of your peers and friends who are also interested in taking on this trip. The $630, I'm sorry to say, is going to be due by Wednesday, February 8th. We need to have it in on this date so that we can hold those reservations. And that was a tough exercise to get us to hold it even this long. So that's going to guarantee our spot in California for this trip. Now, we're going to take one bus, and this is also a part of our tradition. The bus will take either 44 or 48 students on this trip. We might come in a little under that, or we might be over that. If we're over the number of applications for the number of seats, then we'll do a random lottery, where we'll choose a random list order, and we'll have a selection of students that are eligible to go or not go. That's something that we're going to be able to do pretty quick. So by the end of next week, we'll be able to say with certainty of who's on board, and we'll need that payment also on Wednesday.
Okay, so there are the details. On Monday, February 6th at 6 p.m., we will be holding a virtual parent meeting to provide all specific details and to answer any questions that you might have regarding the trip. You may also, of course, always email me with questions.
Yeah.
And we look forward to this exciting adventure, and we'll have happy memories.
I'm just going to once again say that that virtual meeting on Monday at 6 p.m. is going to be all virtual, so we won't have anybody here. But I will be on board for that meeting, and Ms. Reese will be there too. All of your questions will be answered. And thank you for listening to this announcement.